Questions for Coach?
Kind of get the front of game there. I guess we'll start with your basic takeaway from a game like this.
Up and down, obviously, a little roller coaster there with the way we played. To start the game and finish the game is what we'd like to see overall. That low or little stretches that have hurt us throughout the year, somewhat in the second and third quarter, and mainly due to turnovers. Got a little careless there. We're playing really fast and a little reckless at times, and let them get back in the game. But overall, we showed growth. We've lost quite a few of those this year, and got after it defensively and got what we wanted toward the end of the game. So happy with how we fought back and battled back and showed growth in that area.
Can you pinpoint what it was that led to such a stark turnaround? Because, I mean, you guys were playing really some of your worst basketball, and then all of a sudden the switch flipped.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing was those 9 turnovers in the second quarter. We had 14 in the first half and got a little bit better in the third. I think we only had 5 or 6, which isn't a great number. So we had 20 by after the first 3 quarters. That was part of it. And then at times when it's feeling like it's going easy for us, we get away from doing what we do well to get those leads. And I've said that before. So staying consistent with what gets us there. Like I said, I think we got careless because we were scoring the ball easy early in the game and let them back in it. Went from a 14-point lead to basically a 3-point game at halftime due to our turnovers and careless play.
Jaylen seems to be kind of indicative of the way this game went, because he had a lot of turnovers early on, then he ends up with 50. I mean, what kind of game did you see from him?
Yeah, I mean, it's the unforced ones that really hurt us and hurt him early in the game. He had 5 in the first half, so he got better as the game went. Only 2 in the second half and then overtime. So just like you said, it was indicative of the way we played is how he did as well. She took care of the ball and got the shots he wanted late in the game, and then started to find guys as well, especially, the big one to Al late in the game. But just got to be more solid than that overall. It's I don't know if you want to call it a trap game, but with the way we've been up and down this year, coming off a good win, we'd like to have the effort that we had in the first quarter and fourth quarter carried throughout a game and not put ourselves in these situations all the time.
You had Dennis coming out of protocol today. Seemed to get better as the game went on. I mean, what did you see from him?
He played with great energy early on. Pace, he was really pushing it. Had some of those careless turnovers that we talked about early, but I think it was a little bit of everybody. But like you said, he got better as the game went on. Missed some easy shots early, and found his rhythm and kind of got back in the groove with what the team was trying to do. And so he's another weapon for us. Obviously, we needed what he brought tonight with Romeo being out and Aaron and some of the guys last minute, Robert as well. So we needed all hands on deck, and hopefully we'll have Jayson and those guys back soon. But we kind of know what he's done throughout the year, which has carried us through some times when guys are not available.
Called that timeout with 4:20 left. That went on I think 18-4 run from there. What was the message in the timeout, and what were the adjustments you made as it looked like you started pressing full court and having Smart go to trap up top?
Yeah, we just had to pick up our energy defensively. Like I said, I thought we guarded well early in the game, even in the second quarter. It was 23-17. We didn't score due to our turnovers, but they only had 23 points. And so 42-point first half, we talked about at halftime, it's not our defense, it's our lack of consistency and what we're doing offensively, especially turnovers. So we wanted to ramp up the energy and try to produce some turnovers or make them speed up the game. And they took some shots where they made some, missed some. But to credit, we went with a smaller lineup, trapped a lot, and got the stops and baskets we needed. I think we kind of spread it out, opened up the floor a little bit there, and Jaylen really got aggressive down the stretch there. But I think we needed to at that point. Obviously down 14 at that point, we really ramped it up and it paid off for us.
And then offensively in crunch time, I mean, obviously Jaylen hitting every shot probably helps, but how important was it to get into actions with like 18 on the clock and actually run hard in those actions?
Yeah, it was great. I think, like I said, we got the shots we wanted toward the end of the game. Found the matchups we liked, and he was in aggressive attack mode there, getting to the basket or finding guys. And so whether it was him handling Dennis or Marcus, we like to pick on certain matchups out there. And I think it felt like for the first time we really got what we wanted on every possession down the stretch.
It seems like you guys, when you look at your team,
you can't say to yourself, we're just not good enough. Like there's times where you look, and I'm sure you've coached over the years and said, we just don't have the guys that the other team does. You seem to have the talent, but it's just this, rocky.
Yeah.
I mean, this game was a perfect example. How do you kind of limit that? How do you limit just the ups and the downs? Because it seems like that's kind of been the punctuated your season.
Yeah, we talk about, limiting these lulls and stretches, and that's what's really hurting us. So I think we played some of our best basketball against some of the better teams, and then we have nights like tonight where I don't think it's a lack of, focus or respect for your opponent. It's just we go through those lulls, and part is lineups and consistency and guys in and out of the lineup. That's going to obviously hurt at times, but what we preach is, the standard that you want to play at regardless of who's available. And so we've shown that we can compete with whoever, with tons of guys missing, as we have done, and beat some really good teams. And then, we have quarters like tonight where we look like we've never played together. And maybe it's because we haven't at times with some of the lineups and some of the people missing.
And you're almost halfway into the season. You're near 41 games. Have you developed, is this their personality? I mean, are you going to be the team that nobody wants to play because no one knows how you're going to come out?
You would like to, build some habits and consistency. I think as a coach and players in general, you'd like to have a feel of what you're going to bring every night. And so, I don't think that's not what we're looking for going forward. We obviously want to play better, more consistent overall. And I think we'll get there when we get our lineups and get some things settled as far as that, and just have to figure out what's best for us and have the availability. That's a big piece of it. So, not to make excuses, but when Rob and Romeo and guys are out last minute, that really played well last game, it hurts some of that consistency.
Jaylen last game said being the first option, he enjoyed it, but things weren't going that great. But watch out when it does happen. I guess besides just making shots, I guess what was different about his game tonight, especially as that first option?
Yeah, he tried to make the right play, which he's done quite a bit. With him, it's really not overthinking it. Taking what's there in front of him, and at times he feels like he can, score on anybody in any matchup he has, and sometimes they're really heavily loaded up. And so nights he gets off the ball, some nights he doesn't. That's when you see the turnovers, some of those 5 careless turnovers in the first half. So just improving in that area. When a guy like Jayson is missing, or Dennis had been missing, a lot more is on his shoulders, but just simplifying it and letting the game come to himself. I think I told him that in Minnesota. He's rushing a little bit, just let it come. You got the whole game to get where you need to get to, and then don't try to shoulder the load by yourself the whole first half.
On Jaylen as well, your big aspiration this year was to see him become a playmaker. For all security, a big part of that. These last 2 weeks, he's had to step up in that role. What's sort of your reaction to how he stepped into that role overall this year so far?
It's been up and down. To be honest, and he knows that. We've watched quite a bit of film lately, of these past few games when Dennis and Jayson were out and he has the ball a lot more. And so at times he looks really good. At times he's, natural score mode, and he's, kind of gets tunnel vision there. So it's a work in progress. Something that you are who you are throughout your life is not going to change overnight, but we want him to grow in that area. And so he's receptive to it, to the coaching. We watched the film, like I said, quite a bit lately, and you see it translate in certain games. Like, even the Clipper game when he passed the ball, he didn't get any assists that game because he missed shots, but it was very conscious decision to not play in the crowd and get off the ball. So you see growth and carry over from the film sessions. And I think he's getting more comfortable with guys being out now. It'll have to carry over when we got guys back and still playing in that same role, not just scoring mode, but playing the right way in general.
We'll wrap it up right there. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.